Welcome to today's scary story session. These stories are not for the faint of heart, so be prepared to be scared out of your wits. If you enjoy being scared and want to hear more stories like these, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a scary story session. Let's get started.
Elisa Lamb, a 21-year-old Canadian student, arrived in Los Angeles on January 26, 2013.
She checked into the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles, a budget hotel with a notorious history. The hotel was known for being a residence for transient people, and it was also associated with multiple notorious events, including the stay of Richard Ramirez, known as the Night Stalker, who stayed at the hotel during his killing spree. Despite this, Elisa chose to stay at the hotel due to its low cost and proximity to many tourist attractions.
On January 31, 2013, Elisa's parents reported her missing to the Los Angeles Police Department after they did not hear from her for several days.
The LAPD started a search for her, and the investigation was handed over to the Missing Persons Unit. The detectives distributed flyers with Elisa's picture, and they also checked nearby hospitals and jails. Meanwhile, the hotel staff and other guests had noticed strange behavior from Elisa. She had been acting erratically, and some guests had reported that they felt uncomfortable around her. The hotel staff reported that Elisa had been moved from a shared room to a private room after complaints from other guests.
On February 1, 2013, the LAPD obtained and released the surveillance footage from the hotel's elevator, which showed Elisa acting strangely.
In the footage, Elisa can be seen entering and exiting the elevator multiple times, pressing all the buttons, and talking to someone or something that was not visible on the camera. She appeared to be in distress and agitated. This footage went viral on social media, and it sparked widespread speculation and theories about what might have happened to her. The LAPD and the hotel staff continued their search for Elisa, including searching the hotel's rooftop, which was accessible to guests. However, they found no trace of her. Several days later, guests at the hotel started to complain about low water pressure and a strange taste to the water. A hotel maintenance worker went to the rooftop to investigate, and he found Elisa's naked body in one of the hotel's rooftop water tanks. The tank was one of 4 water tanks on the roof that supplied the hotel's guest rooms and the kitchen. The tank had to be drained and cut open to remove Elisa's body. The discovery of Elisa's body in the water tank raised more questions than it answered. How did Elisa get onto the rooftop? Why was she naked? How did she end up in the water tank? The LAPD conducted an investigation, and the autopsy results revealed that the cause of death was drowning, and there were no signs of trauma or sexual assault. The toxicology report showed that there were traces of prescription medication in Elisa's system, including her bipolar disorder medication, but no recreational drugs. Despite the official ruling of accidental drowning, many people continue to speculate and theorize about what happened to Elisa Lamb. Some people point to the strange behavior in the elevator footage and suggest that she might have been under the influence of drugs or having a mental health episode. Others suggest that there might have been foul play involved, and that the investigation was not thorough enough. Paulie Naughton was a 27-year-old woman living in Los Angeles in 1980. She had recently separated from her husband and lost custody of her child, which left her feeling distressed and despondent. Naughton had a history of drug and alcohol abuse, and she had been in and out of rehabilitation centers over the years.
On July 9, 1980, Naughton went to a party in a high-rise apartment building in West Hollywood with her friend, Diane Linkletter.
The party was hosted by a mutual acquaintance of the two women, and there was reportedly a lot of alcohol and drugs available at the event. At around 2:30 in the morning, Naughton and Linkletter went up to the building's roof to sit and talk. Naughton was upset and emotional, and Linkletter tried to comfort her. However, Naughton became increasingly distraught and began to climb over the building's ledge, threatening to jump. Linkletter tried to stop Naughton, but she was unable to do so. In a state of panic, Linkletter ran down to the apartment below and asked for help. The building's residents called the police and tried to talk Naughton out of jumping. While they were waiting for the police to arrive, Naughton lost her grip on the ledge and fell 15 stories down the building's air shaft. She landed on the roof of a building next door, where she died instantly from her injuries. The incident became known as the suicide fall and made national headlines. There was much speculation and controversy surrounding the circumstances of Naughton's death, with some suggesting that it was a suicide and others arguing that it was a tragic accident. The case of Paulie Naughton serves as a tragic reminder of the dangers of drug and alcohol abuse, as well as the importance of seeking help when struggling with addiction and mental health issues. It highlights the need for support and understanding for those who are going through difficult times and facing challenging circumstances in their lives. Dorothy Jean Purcell was a 19-year-old woman living in California in 1949 when she became pregnant. She was in a relationship with a 38-year-old man named Ben Levine, who was married and had a wife and children in another state. Purcell and Levine were staying in a hotel room in Los Angeles when Purcell went into labor.
On October 20th, 1949, in the middle of the night, Purcell gave birth to a baby boy in the hotel room's bathroom.
According to reports, Purcell claimed that she did not know she was pregnant and thought she was suffering from stomach pains. In a state of panic, she believed that the baby was stillborn. However, Purcell later recounted that after she gave birth, she heard the baby crying. She claimed that she tried to silence the infant by throwing him out of the hotel room window, which was located on the 14th floor. The baby fell 14 stories and landed on the roof of a nearby building, where he was discovered the next day. When the police arrived at the hotel, they found Purcell and Levine in the room, and Purcell was in a state of shock. She was immediately taken into custody, and Levine was questioned, but he was not charged in connection with the incident.
Purcell was charged with murder, and her trial began on December 5, 1949.
During the trial, it was revealed that Purcell had a history of mental health issues, including depression and a suicide attempt. Her defense team argued that she was not in her right mind when she threw the baby out of the window and that she should be found not guilty by reason of insanity. After a lengthy trial, the jury found Purcell not guilty by reason of insanity, and she was ordered to be committed to a state mental hospital for treatment. She was released from the hospital in 1955 and moved to Florida, where she lived the rest of her life in relative obscurity.